Sam Altman and Dario Amodei run rival AI companies. They do not agree on everything, and that is putting it very mildly. But they have now signed the same letter asking Congress to track orders for synthetic DNA and RNA. More than 70 leaders signed it too. The people building advanced AI are no longer talking only about fake photographs, cheating at school, or chatbots giving bad advice. They're worried about what happens when AI meets biology. There is a tension here. The same companies racing to make AI more capable are asking governments to control what people might do with that capability. Nobody has figured out exactly where the line should be. But the argument has moved beyond whether a chatbot should refuse a strange request. That brings us to OpenAI, which reportedly wants ChatGPT to become much more than a chatbot. The redesign would feature coding, image generation, AI agents, and outside services such as Canva and Booking.com. An agent is software that can take a task, decide what steps are needed, and carry them out for you. The idea is simple. Instead of asking ChatGPT how to plan a trip, you might ask it to help create the itinerary, design the presentation, and book parts of the journey, all in one place. OpenAI has not confirmed the design or a launch date. So this is still a reported plan, not a finished product. But the direction is clear. ChatGPT does not want to remain the box where you ask questions. It wants to become the place where the work actually happens. Meanwhile, researchers at Cambridge have reportedly used AI to design what is being called a super antigen. An antigen is a substance that teaches the immune system what to recognize and attack. Most vaccines are built to target a particular virus or strain. This new approach is intended to target an entire family of related viruses at once. The same method is reportedly being explored for flu, bird flu, and Ebola. That could matter because viruses change. A vaccine may work well against one version, then become less useful as the virus mutates. Designing something that recognizes features shared across a whole virus family could offer broader protection. Could. That word is doing important work here. There were no human trial results provided. This is not a universal vaccine waiting at your local pharmacy. And nobody should start planning the farewell party for influenza. But it is a useful example of AI doing something more interesting than producing text faster. It can search through biological possibilities at a scale that would be exhausting for human researchers and identify designs worth testing in the laboratory. The AI is not replacing the scientists, it is narrowing the search. And when the possible search space contains more combinations than any research team could examine manually, narrowing it is not a small contribution. From medicine, we move to geometry. An AI reasoning system has reportedly disproved a mathematical conjecture that had remained unresolved since 1946. A conjecture is a mathematical idea that appears to be true but has not yet been proved. In this case, the problem involved arrangements of points on a flat surface. The AI reportedly attacked it using algebra and number theory rather than staying within the obvious geometric approach. That is interesting because difficult problems often survive for decades, not because nobody is smart enough, but because everyone keeps approaching them from familiar directions. The system appears to have walked in through a different door. There is an important caveat. The model was not identified and the full proof was not included. Mathematics is not impressed by confidence. A proof either survives expert checking or it does not. So this is a reported result, not a victory parade. Still, it points towards a valuable role for reasoning systems. They may not simply answer known questions, they may suggest connections between areas of mathematics that human researchers had not thought to combine. This one will not change your life today. It might change how new mathematics gets found. All that reasoning requires enormous amounts of computing power, which brings us to Amazon. Amazon says AWS can now run some AI workloads 35% faster. An AI workload is simply the computing job required to train an AI system or make it respond. Faster processing can mean shorter waiting times and lower costs, especially for companies running millions of requests. 35% sounds very precise, the details were less generous. Amazon did not provide enough information here to show which hardware models or tasks received that improvement. So this should not read as every AI product on AWS suddenly becoming 35% faster on Monday morning. It is Amazon's claim, and benchmark results have a habit of looking the best while standing under company lighting. But even a narrower improvement matters. Cloud companies are competing not only over who has the smartest AI tools, but over who can run them fastest and cheapest. For businesses, that difference eventually reaches the invoice. And while Amazon is trying to reduce the cost underneath AI, Google is cutting the price customers see directly. Google reportedly reduced its AI Plus subscription from $7.99 to $4.99 per month. It also doubled the included storage to 400 gigabytes. That is a fairly aggressive move. Most major consumer AI subscriptions have settled around the $20 a month mark. Google is offering a lower priced option while bundling storage, which makes the comparison uncomfortable for companies selling only access to a chatbot. The company would probably describe this as giving customers more value. It also puts pressure on every competitor charging 4 times as much. These two facts appear closely acquainted. Cheaper subscriptions can bring more people into paid AI services. They can also make it harder for smaller companies to compete because Google can combine AI with products people already use. A startup has to persuade you to buy a new tool. Google can attach the tool to your existing account and lower the price until ignoring it feels unnecessarily stubborn. That is how price wars work. Customers enjoy the discounts, competitors enjoy meetings. The final story is about what happens after companies buy all this AI. Angie O'Dowd, HubSpot's global vice president for platform and partner ecosystem, says business software now needs to be designed for AI agents as well as people. An AI agent is software that can take a goal, decide what next steps are needed, and carry out some of those steps without being guided through every click. Traditional business software was built around a person looking at a screen. You open a menu, select a customer, update a record, and press save. In an agent-based system, the software may need to let an AI retrieve that customer record, check what happened, update the information, and trigger the next task. HubSpot calls this agent user experience. The name is not especially beautiful. The change behind it is more interesting. Companies may soon have to ask 2 questions when building software. Can a person use this? And can an AI system understand and operate it safely? That does not mean removing people. O'Dowd's broader point is that AI still needs human judgment, business knowledge, and specialists who can understand how companies actually work. The tools can generate answers. Someone still has to decide whether the answer makes sense, whether allowing the software to act on it is a good idea. That part remains stubbornly human. AI is getting faster and cheaper. The harder decisions begin when we decide what it is allowed to touch. Do like, share, and subscribe to Stress-Free AI News if you like this episode, and see you in the next one.